Mubarak on this auspicious day of the births of the last prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, and the birth of our Imam Jafar as-Sadiq. A voice suddenly rose that ripped the shackles of pain and endurance and smashed the dark clouds of despair that had been asphyxiating the rights of women and human dignity. This voice struck like a bolt of lightning, shattering the barriers that had undermined women since the beginnings of mankind. The inceptions of gender equality and the empowerment of women were set back into motion. Women's rights saw new hope and vision for the first time in history. This was a voice personifying Islam and the Quran. It continues to invoke, motivate, and provoke all aspects of human rights. This voice belongs only to Janab Fatima Zahra, the daughter of Muhammad al-Mustafa, the last messenger of Allah. And so begins our book, written by my father and I, that was 4 years in the making, utilizing over 200 sources from world-renowned scholars and Western institutions, as well as important Islamic histories, in an academic manner, and spanning over 1,400 years of history from the past to the present, focused around the effects of Islam's history on the modern day, with a stern emphasis on women's rights in Islam, led by the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, Janab Fatima Zahra. Our book, entitled Shattered, the start of the Sectarian Divide and the Feminist Revolution in Islam, focuses on Janab Fatima's speech and a claim for the property of Fadak, in which rightfully belonged to her and was stolen away by a group of people bent upon the disunion of Islam. To further demonstrate our point, Shattered employs a plethora of sources and academic discussions to demonstrate that the coup that took place at Saqifa, the small meeting place where through shady meetings the entire structure of Islamic history had fallen apart, shattered the Ummah and created a continual downfall through history to the modern day, and in particular, the near complete removal of the rights of women that were guaranteed by the Quran and the Prophet of Islam. Shattered is designed with the specific purpose of propagating Islam and the truth of it, and outlining, through hundreds of proofs of substantive arguments, the strength of the Shia faith and the power of the true message of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. Truly unique and beyond the scope of any other book on this topic is that we have utilized the events that have taken place in history to create a full picture of why things are the way they are today in the modern Muslim world, explaining the origins of Al-Qaeda, Wahhabism, and other fanatical groups that have been responsible for Samara and many other terrorist activities and events that have taken place in past history, from Saqifa to Karbala and beyond. Most importantly, Shattered is a powerful declaration of how the Shia faith stands apart from the extremism and the terrorist groups that have marred the name of Islam as a whole, and raises up the message of Prophet Muhammad and the Ahlul Bayt above the storm of criticism that Islam has faced recently due to these groups that have falsely acted in its name. Shattered employs all of this with a flair for creating a profound image of what the true Islam of Muhammad and the Ahlul Bayt is. A true message of peace, change, and the strength of the oppressed in this world, leading with the message of the great Prophet's daughter, Janab Fatima Zahra. This book delves into deeper issues that are afflicting the Muslim world today with a heavy emphasis on women's rights in Islam, and utilizes the historically groundbreaking speech of Fadak, of the daughter of the Prophet of Islam, to demonstrate the powerful role women have in Islam and the movement that the most revered woman in Islam had started. The following is a portion of the book that sets the scene for this groundbreaking speech. An incredibly grief-stricken Janab Fatima, only a few days back, was harassed. Her home was burned, and her children were put through mental anguish by Abu Bakr and Umar. A determined Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad, rose out of the smoldering fire, brushed off pain, and defiantly stood up to protect Islam from a formidable internal threat.
What?
As Fatima entered a packed Masjid al-Nabawi, the mosque built by Muhammad, people froze in awe. Silence suddenly filled the air. Fatima shook up the pagan world 1,400 years ago in a sermon in which she claimed her right to Salah. Her voice still triggers chills among the oppressors and the despots. The revolutionary message transmitted by her speech for the claim of Salah has become the voice of every woman, creed, class, nationality, and culture. Fatima's plight changed the world permanently when she made her groundbreaking speech for women's rights. And so our book comes to an end. But it is not the pages in this book that have defined what it means to be shattered. This book has demonstrated that time and time again. You cannot truly understand what it is to be shattered until you have faced the injustices Janab Fatima had. You cannot understand what it is to be shattered until you have had to stand before an army of thousands with a small, determined, righteous force of 72 in Karbala. For the crevices that have broken this ummah are deep and cut through the very heart of the Prophet's family repeatedly. But as Shattered demonstrates, there is hope yet for the truth to mend the broken glass of the past and unite once again. Shattered, the Sectarian Divide and the Start of the Feminist Revolution in Islam is published by Author House and available at most bookstores, in particular BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com, etc. And will be on bookshelves across the country soon. We do have a few copies of the book here today for sale, and 30% of the proceeds from that book will be donated to Husaini. Please talk to my father if you would like to purchase the book, and we are also taking advanced orders in the future if you would like to deliver it to you. Thank you for your time. Wa alaikum assalam.